Hello guys and welcome to another video on Marvel Contest of Champions. Now the BrutalDLX challenge is here and this video will be a complete guide on 100% exploration of this challenge. The challenge consists of 6 paths with the same 5 champions in each path, and with each path difficulty will be increasing by the means of health. That is, health of the champions on each path will be more than the previous path. Now the nodes on Winter Soldier, that is the first defender here, are wavering conditioning, high energy diet, now you see me, escalating armor and aggression one punch. The most important nodes to note here are the now you see me node, that is every 6 seconds attacker will be inflicted with falter, that is attacker will miss the next attack for 3 seconds. Also if we land an attack, this timer will be reset. And the other important node is aggression one punch. Every 5 seconds defender will gain a lethal charge. The lethal charge is denoted below the health bar of Winter Soldier as the cross, skull and cross icon. And each time if for 5 seconds you are not hitting the defender, he will gain a lethal charge. And lethal charge means that he can basically one shot you. So all you have to do is, if he gains a lethal charge, you can block that attack or you can basically dex that attack. So in both cases it won't cause us to lose health and just give Winter Soldier a one hit KO thing. And other than that, the other things are very simple. The SP1 and SP2 of Winter Soldier are not very difficult to dex or block, but I will suggest keeping Winter Soldier to SP1. Now the champion I'm using here is Aegon. The reason for using Aegon is it is a very good place so that I can ramp him up. Initially my plan was to ramp Aegon to all 999 combos using several revives and all, but I don't think that was a very good thing. Plus I wanted to see if this challenge can be done without using a revive. So in this challenge I have not used any revives, but I have used several health potion on Aegon and on Warlock, and all the other champions were able to push through the entire quest or the entire challenge without using any items. Only health items required were by Aegon and a few by Warlock. Now the plan here is to get as high combo as I can with Aegon, because Aegon will be helpful with the final boss Hulk as well. And from the first fight itself I was planning to take on Hulk with Aegon, but because my Aegon is not very high sig, currently Aegon's sig is around 40 or 42 I think. So because of that, the efficiency with which we can carry on the combo to the next fight was not very good, but we'll see how that turns out. Now other than that, the only two things that I mentioned were the lethal charge and the falter mechanics. So we have to be careful about these two mechanics. Other than that, there is nothing special with this Winter Soldier fight. So now I will see you in the next fight. The falter from the node actually heals up for quite a bit, so I was actually able to finish this fight with 100% health. The second defender on this path is Juggernaut, and the nodes on Juggernaut are pretty basic: energy convert, root or rooted, stand still 3 and standing immunity. Now the important nodes to note here are pretty basic, that is all special attacks and damage over time effects will deal 95% less damage, but our basic attacks, that is our light and medium attacks, will deal additional 200% damage. And the other one is the root or rooted, that is every 12 seconds if we are close to the defender we will be rooted, and if we are away then the defender will be rooted. And one more thing, that standing immunity thing on the defender is that he is immune to all debuff, and while we knock him down by any means, this cooldown will be there will be a cooldown for 6 seconds, and if we keep hitting them, this cooldown will further be refreshed. So the most important mechanics here is the unstoppable mechanics on Juggernaut, so we have to be careful about that. Other than that, the basic hits of Aegon have started doing a very good damage here, because as soon as the more the combo reaches for Aegon, the more he is ramped up and the more will be his attack power, and he doesn't need the help of any damage over time effects or his special effects or his specials basically. So we can do a lot of damage with his basic hits, but still I'm using SP1 here so that it will increase our combo very quickly, because there are around 7 or 8 hits on his SP1, so that is very helpful. And here actually I got stuck with the root mechanics, so you have to be careful about that. Whenever that root timer below the health bar of Juggernaut is very close to expiring, you have to maintain a distance from Juggernaut so that you are not rooted, and Juggernaut instead will be rooted. And every time he is rooted, he will just start spamming his heavy attack, and it will give you very easy opening to go in and attack him. See, just like that. So other than that, this fight is simple. Just make sure you have your eye on the root counter, because that is the only mechanics that can mess here. And once if you are rooted, I don't know if this is intentional or not, but Juggernaut becomes very aggressive and he will actually KO you completely here. So actually my few of my runs ended here because of that, because I was not careful about the route. So you just keep trying and we learn. So you have to be careful about that route mechanics. Other than that, I don't think that fight was very difficult. Next fight on the path is against Vision, and the nodes are Atheist, Power Buildup, Kinetic Transference 3, Escalating Prowess 2, and Standing Powerful. Now the very important node that we have to be careful about is the Escalating Prowess. Basically that node actually helps us because it will give a prowess buff every 5 seconds to Vision, and this will be helpful for us because Ronan can cheese this fight, because as long as there are a lot of buffs on the opponent, every special, that is SP1 and SP2 of Ronan, will actually cause them to be stunned, and this is directly proportional to the signature ability of Ronan. So the higher the signature of Ronan you have, the more easier this fight will be. Now I have a 6-star Ronan, but he was not awakened, so I brought in my 5-star, and he was actually able to solo all 6 Vision fights, because as soon as Vision is up to around 6 or 7 prowess, you can start spamming your specials and he will be stun locked in the corner. So this is a perfect cheese fight for Ronan, and other than that there is nothing special. Only you have to be careful that before the stun starts to expire, you should be ready with your next special attack. Next defender here is Scarlet Witch, and nodes on Scarlet Witch are Power Shield, Going Super, Powering Up, Brutal Refresher, and Critical Eye. Now the two most important nodes here are the Power Shield, that is our basic attacks won't deal any damage, but our special attacks will deal 400% more damage. And the other one is the Critical Eye. Whenever we crit on Scarlet Witch, she will gain an unblockable charge. Now to counter this, I brought in Doom, or Infamous Iron Man, or Doom 2, whatever we can call him. So what it does is we won't hit any of the critical hits, and how this works I will show you in the fight. So Doom has a basic ability in his kit that he cannot crit. Instead, whenever he will try to hit a critical hit, an instant shock dealing energy damage equal to the damage of the critical will be dealt. So because of that, we won't be hitting any critical hits on Scarlet Witch, and because of that she cannot go unblockable anytime. So Doom becomes a very good counter for her on this node. Now the other node is the Prowess node. basically when you are charging your heavy, you will gain a lot of prowess. Also, you cannot gain power from normal beans. So what you can do is, while charging a heavy, you will gain 8% of a bar of power every 0.1 seconds. So that is the only way we can gain power. So the strategy here is to just parry stun her and charge our heavy, and just charging will give us both prowess as well as it will give us power. So what we can do is, we can just keep charging to our SP2, and just we can line up for a big SP2. Now that we have our SP2 ready, we can just attack her. So because of all that prowess, we did, I think, around 200k damage. So that becomes a very good cheese for this path. And also Idum was actually able to handle all 6 Scarlet Witch, that is Scarlet Witch from all the 6 paths. So this is a very good counter for Scarlet Witch. Now the 5th defender on the path is Wolverine, and the nodes on Wolverine are DOT immune, going berserk, true strike, Lionheart, and active regeneration. So what all these nodes mean is, basically he will be healing a lot and you cannot reverse his healing ability. Also the heal block will not work on him because he is immune to heal block. But the way Warlock works is that if he has enough of the virus on the opponent, he will be passively heal blocked, and every time he tries to heal, the opponent will start losing power. So that makes Warlock a perfect counter for Wolverine on this path. And most important thing to note is, we have to keep the degeneration or the virus infection on Wolverine at all times, because if it is not there, then in a very short span of time, Wolverine can basically regenerate to full health. Although this regeneration is not as powerful as the Realm of Legends thing, I believe, or because I was using Warlock, so I didn't got to see that, because Warlock completely shut down his healing. Other than that, you have to be careful about one more thing, that you are not trying to inflict any damage or time effects, that is the heavy attack from Warlock. So by maintaining a good amount of infection on Wolverine, this fight will be pretty easy. Other than that, there was not very big of a challenge handling the Wolverine, and all the other 5 paths on this challenge is basically the same, but only the defenders will have more health on each path. So just for reference, I will just add the final path as well here, but if you guys want the complete video or the complete path from starting to end, I can upload that as well. Just let me know in the comments that if you want that video, I can upload that one as well. Only thing is, these are all the same fights, and only the health is more for each defender on each path. So I will just skip ahead to the final path, so you can actually see for yourself that these attackers are actually very good and they are the proper counters. So as long as you have a proper counter, there won't be any issue. Also, I will again like to point out that I was using health potion, but I did not need any of the revives for this complete challenge. Also, I was able to actually solo the boss fight. So please enjoy this path, and I will see you in the boss fight. The final boss on this path was Hulk, and notes on the Hulk are Dodge Souls Fury, Vital Strikes 1, Escalating Fury buff 2, Conflictor 3 and Brute Force. Now my initial plan was to get Aegon ramped up to 999 combo so that I can be unblockable throughout the fight. But unfortunately my Aegon is not very high sig, so I was not able to carry forward my combos as expected. So I had to change my strategies a little bit on how to counter Hulk on these nodes. Now the nodes are very tricky. Some of the nodes are very tricky here, like Brute Force, which initially I thought will be countered with the unblockable from Aegon. And other than that, the nodes have been designed in such a way that you will be punished heavily for each of your parries. That is, Hulk has a very good block penetration. Also, he will heal if he hits on your block. I think that counts even the parries. And Conflictor, that is the next parry stun or any buff that you inflict on Hulk, will be purified and he will gain 70%, 75% of a bar of power. So all nodes actually challenge you to not use parries and finish off Hulk without using the parries. So what I tried is I tried to get to SP3 so that I will stun the Hulk in that way and get my attacks in. Other than that, the Aegon was still ramped up to around 500 combo. See, so he was doing a pretty good on its own, and the base medium and light attacks were doing around 14k to 18k damage. So because of that, Hulk was the health on Hulk was depleted pretty easily. Now other than that, the new buff on Hulk, because of which he gains that passive unstoppable, so you should be careful about that. Other than that, I think Aegon was a pretty efficient counter, and it will be a even more good counter if we can get Aegon to 999 combos. So I will try doing that, and I will also be lookout for any other good counters for Hulk. So guys, if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.